Hi guys, good morning. This is Dan. Welcome to Engelgeist. For those of you that are new, welcome. For those of you that are returning, welcome back. For those of you that support me over on Patreon, thank you so very much for your subscriptions. This is the daily forecast for all signs. It is a broad spectrum reading. I do speak in broad terms. You need to figure out if and where it fits in your life, if at all. If it doesn't fit or doesn't seem to make sense, that's okay. Nothing's broken or wrong. You just might be working on something different at this time. This forecast was originally created for Wednesday, March 1st, and it is not fully set for that date. It could be used whenever you see it. If it fits your situation when you're seeing it and it's not March 1st, by all means, utilize the reading. I do believe readings can be timeless and they can find us when we need them rather than when they were originally created for. For those of you that are new, please check out the drop-down menu underneath any of my daily videos. In there is some housekeeping rules, things I want you to think about when utilizing the channel, what decks I'm using, and how to contact me on social media or follow me on social media. If you want a private reading, you can contact me either at my Facebook business page or at my Instagram page. Know that I will never reach out to you to solicit you for a reading, so you have to reach out to me. There's also simple ways to support the channel in there. If you like the content, by all means, hit that thumbs up button. Leave me a question or comment on the video if it makes sense. I greatly love to hear those and I read them all. Share the video out and above all else, if you enjoy the content and feel so drawn to, please, by all means, subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell so you get notified when I go live or when I put up a new video. I do daily content, so you get a reading every day. What was the other thing I was going to say? I can't remember now. We have 2 new decks today because we're going into March. The moon is void of course. We are in full-on Pisces season at this point. The 2 new decks that I chose, I'm excited to see how they work. I opened them up this morning, and the Muse tarot, which is the tarot that I felt like this fits for my birthday month. When I opened it, in the inside of the box, I'll just read the inside of the box to you. There's a little phrase in there, right? It says, "There is magic in truth. There is truth in my veins, where my blood speaks in soothe, and my mind has no reins." And then at the bottom of the box is a bunch of fish. And I thought, how ideal is that for Pisces season? So I thought that was a good omen. The other deck that we're going to use is by somebody that I'm really falling more and more in love with as I listen to her speak, is Gabrielle Bernstein's Miracles Now. Because I think, who couldn't use a miracle? So these are new decks to me. I'm excited to see how they pair for the month of March. And let's get into this. I will be referring back to the Sunday underpinning reading. If you hear me talking about cards that aren't in this video, you can see that video. It's populated in the lower left-hand corner at the end of this video. And that gives you a little bit of indication as to what I'm referencing. And what was our midweek card, now that I think about it, because we were all up in that Empress energy at the beginning of the week, which is lovely. Okay, now I remember. And let's give it one more shuffle. Brand new deck, new month, new energy. So the card for the day is card number 6, Voices. 6 of Voices. Okay, I should have looked at the book. I have a feeling this is the 6 of Swords. I'm not 100% sure. Let me look really quick, guys. I didn't know that she was going to be changing this, the suits on me. I feel like this has got to be the Swords. Yeah, this has got to be the 6 of Swords when I read the definition. Okay, so Voices is Swords. I just was when I was flipping through the book. Emotions are going to be Cups. I don't know what the others are. Ooh, these Gabby Bernstein cards are stiff. The 6 of Swords, or the 6 of Voices, is about moving to calmer waters, clearer thoughts, clearer mind, right? And in our Sunday underpinning, the good thing about this is there was that 10 of Wands that was absolutely beautiful, but it had that light emanating from the center of it, right? And the 10 of Wands is about releasing a burden. So this pairs really nicely. Swords and Wands go together. They feed off of one another. Fire, it consumes air, which the 6 of Swords or voices would be considered air. And air feeds fire. You know, they're kind of symbiotic in that way, right? So with that 10 of Wands underpinning energy, the way that I saw it in the Sunday reading was that there's a truth coming to light or an elephant in the room, something that doesn't align with our Empress energy, our desire for beauty, our desire for more connection in our world. And this 6 of Swords indicates that we're moving towards that. The 6 of Swords is always about moving to clearer, more balanced communication or thought, you know, and that's also why this is Swords, it's the voices, so that would be about communication. I like how this looks like that mountain is in front of us, right, or maybe even behind us, depending on how you choose to look at it, but either way, whether we've surpassed the situation or we are seeing the situation on the horizon, that mountain would be representational of the 10 of Wands, the burden being released, or at least becoming aware of the burden, willing to address the burden, the hard work that we've put in, and finding a new way to communicate it, think about it, release it even, and move to a calmer mind, a clearer space around it, something that brings us more peace, more harmony, especially mentally, right? So as we begin to, and that is sort of that light that I was seeing in that 10 of Wands, is that truth that emanates out. You know, last month's card deck, we kept getting haunted by that fountain card, and it was about that light emerging from just being and just allowing situations to be. So if we're looking at a burden, something that's been challenging, something that we've been dealing with or carrying for a really long time, we're finally coming to a place where we're gaining some clarity around how we think about it, how we communicate to it, within it, with it. And in that clarity or in that balance, we are learning new ways of operating. We are learning a sense of peace. The one thing I love about this is, as I'm looking at this, is this reminds me of our 3D self, and this woman here is our 5D self. And if you look at it, to me, it looks like a man and a woman, right? To me, she almost represents the Empress energy that we saw at the beginning of the week, the higher divine feminine, holding up our 3D self. Whether we're masculine or feminine, gendered is not important, right? But this is maybe us in the world and dealing with the world and feeling maybe small or having moments of fear or doubt. But this higher self, or this woman holding this little man here, is saying, you're not alone, I've got you. I can carry you through this. I can get you through this. I can clear your thoughts. You can tap into me and I can assist, if that makes sense. She's almost like, in a weird way, the hand of God or goddess coming in and supporting us in finding this clarity of thought, this clarity of voice, this peace, this harmony, right? Because that was what I was also talking about with the Empress in Sunday's reading, is that the Empress is going to seek out harmony, beauty, connection in very real and pure ways and understand that she deserves it. So we are supported today. Connecting into that support would be key for us to be able to move through whatever our 10 of Wands is, whatever burden we're releasing or shifting our relationship to. This is the way that we shift it, is we change our thoughts first, we change what we communicate. This could be communication with the situation or communication to ourselves, right? Are we seeing ourselves as incapable, or are we seeing ourselves as, you know, not able to? This is the opportunity here in this card, and this deck is gorgeous, by the way. This is just the first card out, and I'm in love with it. This is the opportunity to kind of clarify our thoughts, our communications around a situation, and how we hold that situation in our lives, and whether or not we need to continue to do so, right? So let's go to the Miracles Now card and see what that has to say. Relationships are assignments for optimal growth and healing. Interesting. So if some of us are having issue with a relationship, because we do see this male-female interaction here, this is about kind of, and I think yesterday there was one of the cards was honoring adversity. And I was saying in yesterday's reading that, if things are giving us trouble, if relationships are giving us trouble, and this could be, any type of relationship. It can be romantic, or it can be a work relationship. It can be, our mother or our brother, or, friendships. If they are challenging us in some way, we are finding a way to find clarity around them, more balance around them, communicate more clearly in them. And we are supported in doing that by our higher wisdom, is my feeling, right? And what we need to do here is look at and honor that adversity, or honor that challenge that we find within our interpersonal relationships, and understand that these are opportunities for our own growth, our own healing, right? They are there to sort of teach us, show us. They're not there to like frustrate us, piss us off. And they're certainly not there, I gotta say this, they're not there for us to micromanage or force or manipulate. And I don't feel like we're doing that, not with the Ten of Wands or the Six of Voices. It's not about manipulation or all of that, but sometimes we have a tendency to want to focus on the desired outcome and get frustrated that we're not getting any closer to it. That's okay. We can let that desired outcome go and understand that if it doesn't turn out that way, what have I learned from this? What has it brought to me, right? What has it taught me? That's where the growth comes in, and that's where the healing comes in. Let's look at the clarifiers really quick. We have the Tower, so something is falling apart, guys. Major Arcana, something built on faulty foundations. It doesn't mean that our foundation is faulty, though. I actually feel like our foundation is good with the Empress from the Sunday reading, and the fact that the Ten of Wands is there. Yes, again, the Ten of Wands means we might need to release something or let it go, and that could feel like this Tower moment to you, but this Tower moment is actually creating space in our life for something more in alignment, something that is more foundationally secure to take over its place. This could be the rebuilding of a relationship that has not been working the way that it exists in our world, right? The Empress won't allow for that, and this Tower certainly won't either. There's some sort of basis with which this relationship may be built upon that is not like foundationally sound. It's not secure. It may not be giving us what we want. It may not be giving us what we need. It is giving us growth and healing, though, in how we approach it. It's asking us to almost rely on our higher self, this woman, to come down in and support us through finding balance and clearer communication within the dynamic so that we can move forward. Let's go to the next clarifier, is the Two of Pentacles. This is oftentimes a choice. This is a 3D choice because I associate Pentacles with the 3D. We could feel like we're juggling, a couple of options or a multitude of options, especially within the chaos of this Tower. And let me look at the last card. It is the Ace of Swords. So, with this being the Six of Voices, there is a truth here. There is a resounding truth here. I'm going to go so far as to say that is important, healing, clarifying. It could be the very truth that leads us into the balance of the Six of Voices today. But we have to listen to that truth. And even though we're weighing, because that's this Two of Pentacles energy, sorry that the camera's going buck wild. And maybe I have too much stuff on my desk and it doesn't know what to focus on because it's like pulsing. If we have too many options, or if we're like, that Two of Pentacles in the center could be us trying to take into account our needs versus like the situation's needs, or our partner's needs, or our family's needs, and what they want, what they desire. But there is a all-powerful truth in here that is this Ace of Swords, and that truth will bring us guidance. It will bring us light. It will bring us clarity, even through the chaos of the rearrangement, let's say, of this Tower, right? So if we find our relationships rearranging in ways that we didn't expect or that feel a little bit scary. The Tower can be a scary card. It feels, it's something that we expected to stay a certain way is now shifting in a way that we don't feel like we can control. But the thing is with the Tower, it's this sort of sense of let go or be dragged, right? There's this idea of whenever we resist the Tower, we set ourselves up for more pain, heartache, and sadness than it's worth. We just need to let it transform, let it fall apart, let it be what it is, right? The Two of Pentacles could also be the flexibility of moving within in that idea of let go or be dragged. There is a flexibility within that Two of Pentacles that could be required for us to achieve this truth today, to find this clarity. The Ace is oftentimes a surprise. Oh, the dog just farted. That's nice. The Ace of Swords. That's a confirmation from the universe. The Ace of Swords is oftentimes a gift. Any of the aces would be a gift. And I also sometimes see the aces very much representational of connection to the self. So this truth will be something that resounds within us, is my feeling. And it will help us to make the decisions between the options that we have in the midst of this relationship shift, change, or deconstruction even. Like I get a feeling from this Tower, we could be experiencing this at different levels. Like some of you, this could be total deconstruction of a relationship and it falling completely apart, especially with that Ten of Wands underneath this. But for others, it could be a rebuilding, right? We need to let it fall apart, and we need to make the correct choices, but honor our truth in all of this, and understand that regardless of what is going on, it is here for our growth and our healing, right? It is here to teach us in some way. Maybe it's just simply teaching ourselves to be true to ourselves, to our own truth. But it does feel like that truth gets us through whatever this situation or whatever the degree of severity this relationship situation may be for you. And we do have, I do get this sense of flexibility through the the Two of Pentacles. And also, I'll say the Ten of Wands, because the Ten of Wands is kind of like, I'm almost at the completion cycle of this. I'm at the end. I don't know that I want to carry this anymore in this way. It's too heavy, too painful, too whatever. So there is a liberation that's taking place in these cards. I don't see this as a bad thing. This Tower could just be the very manifestation of something that we've been aware of for a long time is finally manifesting itself in this way so that we can no longer deny it. But the Two of Pentacles indicates that we can pivot in the moment. We can make choices. We can weigh the good, the pros, the cons, the right, the wrongs. But ultimately, with the Ace of Swords there, we need to stay focused on our own truth and follow that truth, communicate that truth through the Six of Voices, and let go or be dragged, right? The Ten of Wands is about letting go. This is about and also with that relationships being about healing and growth, when we let them go, that's when we learn. We grow beyond them and we learn from them, and we're able to let them be what they are rather than what we thought we needed, or fighting against, I don't want to say the reality of it, but what it's showing to us. And I think that there's no more fighting is my feeling. Let's go to the grounding stone. And remember, the grounding stone for this week is respect. So there's this idea, I think, in respecting, this truth today. Respecting ourselves enough to lift ourselves up in the transformation of this Tower, and to place ourselves first within whatever situations that we're in that might be shifting or changing, and honoring that. And when we do that, we also honor the other aspects of the relationship or the other people within the relationship. Ultimately, we honor the relationship itself by being true to ourselves, speaking our truth in balance and harmony, if that makes sense. The grounding stone is strength. So Remaining in our own personal strength during this change or shift is going to be key. Yesterday's grounding stone was also success, so I think that all of this is setting ourselves up to show us kind of what we need, what we're capable of, staying true to ourselves and standing in that, in our own strength, standing in that truth, holding on to it. I don't get a feeling from these cards that this is about like forcing others to believe or understand our truth. The Six of Voices is more of a quieter card in that way, and the Two of Pentacles is also, although it's like a juggling or a decision-making card, it feels like us personally making the decision rather than, you know, forcing someone else to understand our decision. I hope that makes sense. So grounding in our own personal strength to hold on to the truth of whatever our Ace of Swords is and communicate that, even if that communication is only within ourselves, allows us the opportunity to move through this with grace and to grow and to heal even during the whole process. That is your reading for the day. I hope that it makes sense. Please like the video, share the video out, leave me a question or comment. If you're new to me, subscribe to the channel if you feel so inclined. I would greatly appreciate it. I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow to see how this energy transforms and changes. Have a wonderful day and take care.